Thank you, sir, for allowing to move an amendment to this proposed bill, Meghalaya Right to Public Service Bill 2020. So the section in which I intend to put an amendment is number one is section 6(1), where the deletion of the words on payment of such fees as may be prescribed and include free of cost after the word appellate authority. And number two is that at section 8(1), after the words lump sum penalty, to include the words including necessary disciplinary action as may be evaluated and recommended by the appellate authority. Sir, I would like to thank the government for bringing this very beautiful bill, the Meghalaya Right to Public Service Bill. Since it is a need of an hour, we have seen in different sections, in different government offices, they delayed in giving service to the public. So I would like to convey to the government for bringing this beautiful bill. I have gone through it. It is beautifully drafted. We have experience, especially with day-to-day life, going to government office, where there are certain delays in disposing duties from government official. For example, for acquiring driving license in DTO office, people or the public has to move from pillar to post. When to get a driving license, when to get a registration for the new vehicle, and so on. Or anybody has to go through the agent or the so-called dalal. This has happened in all DTO office all over the state. And anybody, someone who's buying a new car, he's not getting RC after 3 months. Even his temporary RC also invalid. This is happening. They're running from pillar to post. So there's so many services that has been delayed. At the same time, anybody who has to acquire an ST certificate from Deputy Commissioner Office, they have been experiencing the same issue. Bus fare, sumo fare, they have to pay running from pillar to post from time to time. Many difficulties. At the same time, so many issues while getting the duplicate copy of mark sheet in emboss or land registration. These are issues that the public at large in the state are facing difficulty. So I'm thankful to the government that they has brought out this beautiful bill to check and balance so that the service has to be given to the public. And I would like to request to make an amendment so that our people, they won't suffer, that in this section 6(1), as I have been mentioned, that it has been said that on the payment of such fees as may be prescribed. My humble request is that to delete that word and insert after the appellate authority to insert free of cost. And number two, sir, as I have said in the beginning, that in section 8(1), the State Public Service Delivery Commission may impose a lump sum penalty, including, I want to add, including necessary disciplinary action as may be evaluated and recommended by the appellate authority against the designated officer and so on. Because by just impose a fine of 5,000 to 10,000, anybody can pay. But this is happening from time to time. The system in our offices is happened like that. The delay in disposing the duties.
Honourable Member, can you please take a seat? Just take a seat, please. Now it's already 2, and I will extend the House till all business listed today is being disposed of. You may continue, please.
So, sir, with this submission, I would like to urge the Honourable Chief Minister to please consider this amendment for the benefit for the people of our state. Thank you so much.
Honorable Speaker, sir, I also stand to support the motion of amendment to the proposed Meghalaya Right to Public Services Bill 2020 as moved by the Honorable Member from Nongpo, Shri Mirabal CM. Sir, I also join hands with the Honorable Mover to extend my appreciation to the government to bring about this important bill to improve the delivery services, the governance, and also to ensure that there is a legal entitlement to the citizens of the state in obtaining the required services within a time frame that will be specified based on the services that will be under the various services that the government will notify as per the rules that will be laid. So, I have moved two changes. One, section 8.1, the words 5,000 may be replaced with the words 10,000, and the words 20,000 be replaced with the word 50,000. And section 9.3, the words 2 be replaced by 4, and the words a cabinet minister be replaced by Leader of Opposition, Chief Justice of Meghalaya, and Lok Ayukt Meghalaya. So, these two proposals have come after some consultations with civil society members. These civil society members have also expressed their grievances that perhaps the government had not given much space for public participation in the drafting of the bill as per the mandatory 30 days that they have to lay down, they have to give to the people to submit their proposals and suggestions. So this perhaps may require some kind of exercise that have to be done, which the consultative exercise is important, sir, as part of government, as part of governance, to improve the delivery services and especially in the drafting the bills that are placed before this August House. So the services that have to be brought under the bill have not been defined in the principal bill, sir. The government proposes to notify these services in the rules, which in subsection 2, section 3 of the Meghalaya Right to Public Services Bill 2020, the list of services to be included in the notification. So this, I think, sir, will be diluting the very objective of placing the bill before this August House. Therefore, if the government can bring the services within the Principal Act, within the Principal Bill, I correct myself, then perhaps this will give further impetus and weightage to the objective of this bill, sir. That's number one, sir. Number two, increasing the penalty would be a deterrent and also give much weightage again to the bill, because that will alert the officers concerned, the various authorities that have been put in place, so that they will be put in a position that they cannot delay any further nor give unnecessary excuses, because 5,000, as the member had said, is too small an amount, but then 10,000 and 50,000 will perhaps put in that sense of urgency, put in that sense of importance to the demands of the people based on the services that will be notified. So, section 9.3, where the bill proposes that the selection of the chairman or chairperson of the commission would be done by the Honorable CM and a cabinet minister of his choice. So since there is no such committee also being identified or maybe notified in the, proposed, sorry, in the draft bill, if there is no such committee and if the selection process is left only to 2 people from the executive, I think, sir, there is much to ask, because in democracy, sir, I think everybody has to be given a stake, especially if you go by the Security Service Commission and the other commissions. Several members have been included from civil society as well as from the legislature. Therefore, sir, I would propose that the words cabinet minister be replaced by leader of opposition, the Chief Justice of Meghalaya, and also the Lok Ayukt. So this group, which represents all the important stakeholders and pillars of democracy, they will be included and give, it will add weightage to this particular objective of putting the bill before the House for passing today, sir. So these are a few suggestions, sir, which I would request the government to consider, and perhaps before we pass, these amendments be included in the bill, sir. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Chief Minister will reply.
Yes. Sir, at the very outset, I would like to thank the Honorable Member, Shri Meral Bon, CM, and Honorable Member, Shri George Lingdo, for bringing this amendment motion, and also to Mr. P.T. Sokme, who did not move, but he also had concerns about this particular bill. But I think because of paucity of time, he has decided not to move. But nonetheless, I thank him also for bringing these important points. As again I mentioned, it gives an opportunity for us to clarify a number of issues. So I'll try to go one by one in trying to clarify some of the concerns that the honorable members have had. So I think first thing to note, of course, is the fact that the Meghalaya Right to Public Services Bill 2020 should have come a long time back, sir. It's something that has been pending, I should say, and something that the people of the state deserve. Because if everybody is accountable, then I think the government as a whole also, in terms of giving its services, the officials concerned also should be accountable to the people of the state. I always stress on this fact, and this is what has driven me at least to ensure that we come up with this particular bill, is that whether it's the honorable MLAs, whether it's the honorable ministers, or whether it's the officers, we are all here to serve the people of the state. And therefore, this primary goal and objective should always be kept in front of us. And this particular act will ensure that it reinforces the entire purpose of each and every person sitting in this room is here for, which is to ensure that we provide service to the people. And that is what the driving force behind this particular bill. Having said that, sir, coming to the different concerns that the honorable members have had. So the reason why we have put in a fee in this particular aspect is that we would like to avoid people coming in and giving frivolous complaints. And I think that would be something that would overburden the system. And that is the real purpose of doing this. And it will be, of course, a fee which will be very, very minimal. Like, for example, in the RTI Act, it is rupees 10. So it's not really a large amount, but it ensures that people just don't come in and give frivolous complaints. So we will ensure that the fees that is there is kept at a minimum amount. But if it is free, then as I said, there'll be so many applications which could be applications which are frivolous, which would just end up burdening the system and actually lead to delay in giving justice to others who could be genuine cases, sir. Number two is regarding the question of the disciplinary action that was mentioned. Sir, the 5,000 penalty imposed is in itself a very big, I guess, penalty. If you look at a lot of the other states in the country, the amount ranges anything from 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So therefore, Meghalaya may be one of the higher ones. Even in the northeast, we are number one, we are the second state to have adopted this particular act, the bill. And say a state like Assam is now charging 2,000 rupees. So we will be charging, means penalizing at 2,000 rupees, but we are penalizing at 5,000 rupees. So already it is quite high, it will be deducted straight from the salary. And I think we need to realize that this is just going to be a real point where we are going to put the pressure on the officials out here. It's not meant to scare people as such, but the purpose is to really ensure that the officials realize that they are accountable and they need to be penalized. So I think disciplinary action is not necessary at this point in time, and we can start off with the penalty, which is what most of the other states are doing, sir. So number 3, the point where, again, the Honorable Member had said that we could increase the amount from 5,000 to 10,000 for, which is up to 5,000, and increase it to up to 10,000, and increase the, if the repeated situation is there, then we increase it from 20 to 40,000. Sir, again, as I said, I clarified that if we were to compare to most of the states in the country, the fees amount is at 2,000 rupees to 3,000 rupees. So we are already at a very high rate. And for a number of officers, 5,000 rupees also is a lot of money. So therefore, I think at this point in time, there is no need to change these figures. And 5,000 already is a very, very high figure that we have put in. Coming to the point of adding the different and making it part of the Act, the different services that are there. Sir, we had in fact decided, and the initial discussion that took place, this is exactly what we had done. But then slowly we realized that there were about 60, 65 services that were there, and we realized that there'll be many more services that will come in. We also realized that we may need to decrease the number of days or increase the number of days in each of the services, though each of the officials and departments have already been consulted. But we strongly felt that if we put that within the Primary Act, then even to change one comma, as you're aware, sir, or even to change one dot, we'll have to come back to the Assembly. So tomorrow we might need to add another service, which is very important to the people. We will need to come back to the Assembly to include that one particular service. So the idea is to not burden the Assembly and the Legislature with that particular responsibility, and just to focus on the purpose of the Act and the bill, and to, in a way, leave the aspect of how the services should be done, which should be added, not added, which could change very frequently, sir. And that's the reason why we then decided that we will not include it in the Primary Act, but it will come out in the form of rules and notifications, sir. The last point which was mentioned, which I think I've covered most except the last one, which is that we should include the other members in this particular selection committee. So this again is an aspect which is not required at this point, because the government is completely competent. These are services which are directly related with the government, the services that are provided by the government. So therefore it is very much within the executive role, and hence, keeping all that aspect in mind, the government is absolutely competent to do that, and that is why we don't feel the necessity to include or to expand the selection committee, and we stick with the 2 members that have been mentioned out here, sir. So with these few points, sir, I hope I have clarified the concerns of the honorable members, and would request them if they could withdraw their amendment.